Let's fill some hard drives. Greetings and welcome to Dodger and Die presents The Titan's Gift Season 4 Episode 2. I am your DM and host Marty, joined by 3/4 of the Seattle crew. How is everyone doing on this fine Tuesday evening? Let me get your mics in proper toasty order here. You guys doing all right?
Yeah. All right. How are you?
Great.
Not too bad. Not too shabby. Finished.
Nice.
What was it? On this weekend, I finished Last of Us. It was actually a really decent zombie show.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it.
Finished it last night as well with my wife, or Sunday night. It was pretty good.
My favorite episode, aside from when Offerman was in it, was the mall episode.
Those were both really strong episodes. Yeah.
Right.
The tension in the mall, it's like, spoilers. It's a zombie movie. You know bad things are going to happen, but they just draw it out. Like, I was pacing around my apartment during that whole scene. I'm like, oh, it's going to go bad. Oh, it's going to go bad. Oh, not yet. Okay, it's going to go. Oh, no, it's going to go bad. Oh, no. It just, they built the tension in that whole episode really well.
Right.
Yep.
Nice.
I'll
probably have to check it out.
Yeah. I don't care that, this character didn't look like that character on the video game. I didn't really play the video game much, so all the counter arguments of whether it's good or not, I watched it, I enjoyed it, and they did some good storytelling.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. It's not repetitive. My son keeps saying that as well, but he's right. It's not repetitive.
It's not like the later seasons of Walking Dead, where they chose human drama over, I don't know, pretty much anything.
Yeah.
Like, letting the bad guy go so that he could be the bad guy in the next season. It's like, come on, you could have just put a bullet in his head and been done with it all, right? Yeah. It was...
But also, fair enough, you're comparing something that's 10 seasons in with something that's 6 episodes in.
Yep.
Yeah. And that first Walking Dead, first couple were pretty good.
Yep.
Yeah, I would say first couple of Walking Deads were just as good. So, but that's such is life, right?
Yeah. So that was my nerdy TV in the past week. I was catching up on that.
Nice.
Yep. How about you guys?
Mandalorian's out now too.
I'll have to. Is it? It's not all out, right? Like I'm not. I refuse to do the week by week thing. I don't watch TV like that anymore. That's silly.
Yeah, that's a 90s thing.
I get it. So you like binged watched it over the weekend?
Yeah. Over three nights or so. Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll wait until April or May or whenever Mandalorian is done, and then probably go back and watch the last season, which was the Boba Fett one. I'm confused now.
Yeah.
Mandalorian 1, 2, Boba Fett, and then Mandalorian 3? Okay, yeah. Mandalorian's an easy watch. Yeah, I saw this meme. What's the actor's name for Mandalorian and Last of Us?
Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, Pedro Pascal. It's like, by 2050, all movies will be Pedro Pascal escorting Magic Child to safety.
Yes.
And it was like a shot of Mandalorian and a shot of Last of Us. And then there's a movie Prospect, where in that movie his character meets like a girl and they end up teaming up to try to escape this weird planet that they're on. So it's like, this is a thing.
But I have to admit, right? Like he's a pretty decent actor. Right? He pulls it off pretty well.
I chuckled a couple times during Last of Us because he was doing the Mandalorian kind of like low. I'm low scary man, like, low speaking scary man. he was doing that, so it caught me a couple times. I guess that's a better shtick than I die in the first episode.
Sure.
Yeah. What's the guy's name?
Sean Bean.
Sean Bean, yeah. Where it's just like at the beginning of the episode he dies. He dies by the end of the movie.
Yeah,
Okay.
always.
Yeah.
He's great at it.
Well, I have to admit, we enjoyed Pedro Pascal and the unbearable weight of massive talent as well. That was also
I've been meaning to watch that. Is it fun?
That was a fun movie. Yeah.
It's very good. Yes.
not going to spoil it or anything like that. I will just say in the beginning of the movie, I had no expectations. So my initial take was, what the hell am I watching? And then it works.
I'm a Nicolas Cage fan, not quite as much as the guy in that movie. I don't have a shrine, but I appreciate Nicolas Cage.
It works. It really works. It's a good movie.
We just watched Cage level crazy too.
Yeah, I love that.
Mm-hmm.
We just watched Pig, the Nicolas Cage movie. Did you ever see that?
Also
that
a good one.
Great.
Yep.
Yeah.
What?
John Wick.
Pig.
It's just basically like if you take John Wick and then you just adapt John Wick to the food scene, and
you dial down competence of violence down a little bit. Like it's not quite.
But he's John Wick, but with food. So he doesn't fight people through punches and guns. He fights through culinary expertise, you know?
Right.
I've never heard of this. I will watch this.
It was good. It was really good. It's fun Nick Cage stuff.
Okay. See, there you go. Added something to my to-watch list.
And then
he's in like a Western that just came out not too long ago, too. The Old Way, I think it's called. I want to see that. I love a good Western movie.
Yeah.
The Old Way is a witch movie.
It's something like that.
You know what? Maybe it's just Old Way.
Maybe, yeah.
Okay, so he's in The Old Way, but I swear there's a witch movie that is also called that. Old Ways. The Old Ways is a 2020 American folk horror film.
Okay.
That one's neat. It's kind of a demon possession movie.
I do love some good supernatural spooky.
Yeah, watch The Old Ways. And then Nicolas Cage's movie is The Old Way, singular. Okay, fine. That will get eventually added to a list.
We're running out of names, right? We're going to run out of names pretty soon.
Yeah. Unless you go with the
main names.
The Elon Musk way of naming babies, you know. You get a cat to walk across the keyboard or something.
Right.
It says Doug. It's pronounced Doug.
Right. Why does it have an X in it?
It's hexadecimal for Doug.
Right.
Not too much going on over here. Watching, we're super into this cooking competition show called Tournament of Champions. So real excited that's back on. Watching Mandalorian. I've been playing now that I got a new laptop that can run like games on it,
like modern games.
Died.
Yeah.
I've been playing Iron Harvest. Real-time strategy, kind of weird, like steampunky World War I-esque game. It's pretty fun. It's been a while since I played a RTS kind of game. I wish it was RTS with pause, but not everything can be civilized, you know.
Dude, RTS without a pause function? Oh man, that's like...
It's really tough. It's so tough. I save a lot and reload. Like, I didn't want to actually do that move.
Yeah.
That's a very annoying pause, but sure.
Yeah, for sure. I hear the Company of Heroes 3 is real-time with pause, which is pretty interesting, but I don't know. I'm into Iron Harvest.
Did you see the announcement from City Skylines or the City Skylines?
Oh, Cities 2? Yeah, I saw that.
2.
Just get back in and just stress over my tax policy again and not having fun.
We're trying to figure out how to build the perfect intersection or how to fake the road.
Oh my god, just 30 minutes to figure out how highway interchanges work. Just so stressed.
You play it once. I play it once. You start learning and go, oh man, my city sucks. I'll start over, and then you make a really good run of it, and then the third playthrough will be, I'm just gonna turn on the cheat that gives me the money, and then you just end up painting, and then you get bored, and then you never play the game again. So I'll go through that cycle, but it will go exactly like that. This city sucks. Now I know what I'm doing. Create another one. Try real hard. Obsess over things, and then the third playthrough will be.
It's a great game to play while you are listening to like an audiobook or something. Like multitasking. Listen to an audiobook. Keep the brain occupied.
I do that with Civ 4. Like, I'll still play Civ 4 because it's almost like second nature at this point in time. And then I'll have a light TV show or movie in the background. Not something too involved.
I've been playing some Fallout 76 lately.
Okay.
There's a lot more there than when they released it. So it's kind of fun.
What's it like playing Fallout with other people, though?
Oh, I mostly ignore the other people, and that works great. Hey, just like real life, right?
I was about to say, that's just like real life, right? They say no man is an island.
I got my island right here. Everything I need.
I'm on my hill. I'm on my island. You get off my island.
I'm an island that supports pizza delivery.
You're island adjacent.
I resemble Matt. I resemble that comment.
It just arrived, by the way. So
nice.
I'll be right back. I'm going to go over the salad.
Yeah. Okay.
Sure. Yeah, I had to fix my 3D printer. My 3D printer was out of action for a while. Had some nozzle issues and some bed adhesion issues and so on. Now my son is playing this senior assassin at school with Nerf guns. So, you've never heard of this, Luke?
No.
Yeah. So, let me just pick up my dog. So essentially, you get assigned a target. Like all the players at school get assigned a target, and it's this real world game where you have to assassinate your target, and you are somebody else's target. And there's like rules where you can't shoot them on school premises, you can't shoot them inside their own house or something like that. So you've got to stalk people, figure out where they are, go find a way to assassinate them with a Nerf gun. So it's really funny.
How is this a game in the modern world with
Nerf guns are pretty easily identifiable. They have like color codings and things like that to make sure you don't confuse them for a real gun. So I can see why. I can see how this works. But you know, so that's really fun. We just listen to these stories, and like they drive around in the car trying to stalk people, and he ended up shooting a girl. He walked up to her, he's like, I'm sorry. Pew! Shot her. So it's really funny. But the point is, now I'm 3D printing a Nerf gun, because of course.
Oh, sweet. That's sweet.
I don't get the youth these days. What's wrong with the youth? Why can't they just sit inside and play the violent video games like we did when we were kids?
I'm just going to say this game is something I can see people totally get into. Like it looks like fun. It's like if I was a senior, I would be doing it.
Hell yeah, that sounds awesome.
So
what does a Nerf gun cost these days?
Oh, they're cheap, dude. They're like, I don't know, like $15 on Amazon or something like that. Like, it's pretty cheap.
Maybe I might get one from my home office.
Wandering around collecting their Pokemons.
Yeah, right.
I don't think people do that anymore.
Well, see, I was playing the old guy. He didn't quite, Anyways, why don't we do a recap what happened in the last couple games? End of last season. Panic room. After defeating the initial wave of enemies at the chieftain's hall, the party rushes to the great hall, the hall of the great Simbas before their enemy destroys the library contained within. Last game was called Arm Day. Following their victory at Flameford, the party spends some time resting, crafting, and doing research. Pharos pays a visit to the albino. Pharisee bestows a magical gift to Wicked Claws, the dragon. Pharisee divines into the nature of various mysteries of Bostera and beyond. Thurgus makes plans to lift the boulder of Atlas. Zalara visits the party with a riddle. The Jerks Emeritus plan their next move.
What was that riddle?
And I think I put Zalara's riddle...
Fate of Steel. Cerithial, her cage for years sustained 4 enthralled in lost Scarfat. Undead to keep her chained.
She is empty.
She is empty, yeah. Cerithial, the sword, is empty.
Checking the time tracker, let's just see how long you guys spent. It looks like the 11th week of winter is when you were in Flameford doing all that heroic stuff. And then you spent the next 60 days wandering around Bostera doing commerce, crafting, resting, and training. On the 5th week of spring, you did some research about Kazavan, about Scarfat, where is it, in the pearls, various artifacts that you had in your possession, and learned a little bit about the nature of the ether pearls themselves. Some dire information that perhaps the ether pearls are actually contained within one of the lower planes, a lower planes that was designed as a prison.
That's right.
Okay, I think I'll just force you guys to the Flameford map where you guys were doing your research. And then you need to tell me what it is you're doing.
Well, shall we go check on Ezri? I do believe I may have had my fill of this place for a time.
Yeah, I think that's a good plan. This Albino, he seems to suggest the same thing when we chat in private. He's worried about Ezri.
And I think the Zalara's riddle also leads to some degree to Ezri. Something about how it's empty is related to Ezri. The Temple of the Moon, then.
Yes.
Let's form up groups. Who all will join on this mission?
Are we attacking the Temple of the Moon, my queen?
I'm afraid not. We're going to be dreaming. And in the dream realm, we'll travel to where Ezri is and bring her back to her body. The dream realm is a strange place. But I must go. Do you wish to join me, Tech?
You will fall asleep for a prolonged period of time.
I will, yes.
Who will guard your body?
It brings up a great point. Ezri's been sleeping for a long time. How long do you think it would take us to find her?
It could be some time. Perhaps it would make sense to have a few folks stand guard.
Well, who would we want to stand guard?
I say we all
need to go in?
Yes, well, I say we all go there and see what the guard situation is like at the temple, and if Mr. Gigat, perhaps Krojan, or some others are interested in staying behind, feel free to stay awake. If we look like we're struggling, maybe take a quick nap and join us.
Pixel will be there, and Pixel will help control the dream, so that should be helpful to us. Pixel should be able to let folks know if we're struggling, I think.
And Thurgus was volunteering to not go in and keep watch, I think. He was saying something like that last time we spoke.
I don't know if I'm going to go into this place, or maybe I will go.
Oh, mate, it sucks in there. It's like, oh, your arms are all weak, and oh, I fucking hate it.
Yeah, that was Crojan.
Yeah, I know it was you. Oh.
I'll stand guard.
I might stand guard for a little bit, but you never know. If it takes a really long time, I might just get sleepy and lay down and meet you later there. I don't know.
Oh, you should go.
Oh, you think? Yeah.
It might be a way out of here. You gotta get the fuck out of here.
A way out in a dream? That doesn't make a lot of sense, mate.
That's why you should go. Check it out.
All right, if you say so.
When you cast scrying, how long does it last, Burgess? Do you know? Like your protection from scrying, is it a daily thing?
Oh, I didn't really know that sort of thing off the top of my head, but
I think it is a daily thing.
I have no idea how Thurgus actually works. He does all kinds of crazy shit that is just like,
no, that's okay.
You can do that in D&D?
I think it's daily. Yeah, I think it's daily.
I think Tech and Crojan should stay awake and guard then, or stay out of the dream and guard. Tech alone makes people a little nervous. Crojan can vouch for all of us as no longer mock standers.
And I'll keep an eye on the Kreen so he doesn't do anything buggy.
There you go.
He chatters his mandibles.
Yeah, he knows he's being talked about, but you don't know what exactly is processing up there.
Shall we teleport away then? How many of us are there?
All of us.
Simple math. We have 1, 2, 3. Oh. Pixel, do you not count as a person for the purposes of teleport?
I will take Pixel along. Yeah, Pixel doesn't count. Pixel's
I'm
actual
familiar.
Well, I am unfamiliar with the math associated with familiar teleports. How many
you're
people?
not. You've got a familiar. It's the creepy
Yes,
hair.
well, my familiar tends to spend the teleports cozy on the inside, so to speak.
Well, if we are going to rest, I can expend a bunch of teleports to make sure we all get there if we don't have enough teleports. But then
I have 2, so I can take one group. Come now.
I can take a group as well.
I can take a group also.
We should be fine then. That should be enough.
Yeah, what is teleport math? Why am I not seeing it here?
Caster level divide by 3. In addition to yourself.
Caster level divide.
Big people count as 2.
Yep. So I guess I'll take. Does Christopher count as a thing?
He's a familiar. He doesn't count.
Okay. I'll take these guys down here. I'll take Crojan, Thurgus, Christopher.
Okay. Makronam isn't a familiar. But 12.
But Zephyrus can take himself and 4 people,
yeah,
right?
4 people. So either Pharisee teleports or Zephyrus teleports.
Zephyrus will do it. If we end up in the wrong place, Zephyrus has another one. If we end up in the wrong place again, Pharisee has one.
Okay. I'm going to say, just to get things started, that there's no... Buster is pretty safe at this point. You guys get to the House of the Moon without any issue. You do see that there are still catfolk and Rakostans there. I think there's a... all the PCs are... Akram, I think, made his way back already during the downtime to his own tribe.
He was originally from the Moon tribe?
Yep.
And we did stop by there, so we could have brought him back too.
Yeah. He's back with the Tribe of the Moon. Guards recognize you. You guys are heroes that helped save them against the horrible beast of Kernatos Moors.
We're heroes.
I think the beast's body has been cut up and carted away by this time, though.
I hope so. I hope they didn't just leave it to rot in the sun.
Okay, you soon, and Darian is a sword.
As always.
We can take it along, though.
Yeah, you soon find yourselves welcomed here. You guys said you were going to refresh your spells before attempting to go into the dream.
I think he just meant refresh when we dream so that we have teleports back tomorrow. I think we probably have our spells pretty fresh.
Well, you just used a couple to teleport, so I don't know if you...
Yeah, I don't... Zephyros is not too worried about that. It's just
okay.
one spell.
I think that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. All right, so Akram's there. You're invited to the guest quarters, and then anyone... they're basically want to know if you're here to like trade or do something else, or are you here to visit Ezri? The Moon Mating, Tekrakai, and Akram are there. You quickly, with ease, get an audience with them.
It's time. It's time. We're prepared, and we've got the knowledge we need. Yeah, it's time to visit Ezri.
I see that all of you have got your marks, says Tekrakai.
Yes.
She's referring to Bukerbeck, Tech, Krojan. There was a quick teleport back to where you guys got your marks so that all the party could get their marks, allowing them to, where they received the favor of Iambulus, the sleeping Titan. She basically holds out her hand towards Pixel. I will prepare the ceremony then. Pixel will be the conduit to your dreaming and your sleeping selves.
Thank you, Pixel.
Come along, dear. We have work to do. Pixel does a little pirouette, little fey motes go flying off of her, and she looks at Pharisee to make sure that it's okay that she goes.
I nod.
All right. Oh. It's good seeing all of you again, says Akram.
Good to see you too.
Come.
Yeah.
You should get your rest, if I understand, before you go into the perils of the dreaming.
Rest before dreaming.
Relax, I suppose. Ready your minds. You've been such busybodies as of late.
Yes, I suppose. Do you have a good sherry or perhaps a sniff of brandy for an old desert-weary traveler?
He finds you this cactus alcohol.
Ooh.
It's kind of like a...
Could you just force us to this map? I can't seem to find it on my map tools.
It's kind of a...
House of the Moon.
Thank you.
Like a tequila with a slight grassy flavor to it.
Ooh. I don't suppose you have any citrus or salt.
They find salt. The catfolk don't seem to like citrus too much.
Thank you. Cheers. Smell it, give it a swirl, sip on it while we relax here.
Yeah, it's high
Open a
proof.
book and
You
read.
could get drunk off of it if that's
Yeah,
your goal.
I'm not gonna get drunk. I'll have little sips. I'll maybe leaf through a book.
Pharisee, after the things you learned about Henry, have you been avoiding sitting next to him? Has it changed your behavior towards him at all?
I'm fascinated by Henry.
Okay.
But I'm not sure what to do about Henry.
Okay. Henry, give me a sense motive or a perception check. And then a bluff from Pharisee.
This should be pretty easy for her. Which one's better for me? I think perception's not too bad these days. With that tattoo we got, yeah, perception's pretty good.
Yeah, the mark of Iambulus also gave you some sacred bonus, I think, to perception or something. Yeah.
Yeah. 27.
You caught Pharisee looking at you a couple times, but it really didn't mean anything. So
I'll just give her the.
Yeah, it's just. of course, your friends acknowledge you and your greatness and your towering intellect.
Yeah, I want to start seeing how the professor behaves when Sinclair is in charge.
Yep.
And I'm curious about figuring out whether Sinclair is interested in escaping the pearls.
He doesn't come out very often.
Doesn't come out very often. No. I might probe with the professor occasionally a little bit, but I haven't quite figured out how to do it, and I'm not sure I trust anyone else.
So what you do learn is that he comes out very briefly in the morning to look through spell books. There's a time when the professor loses track of time when he's preparing his spells.
If I could take a moment some morning.
Well, no, it hasn't been many mornings since you figured this out. So
that makes sense.
So this is you figuring out that there might be this brief. Good. He doesn't cast many spells, so he doesn't have to do it very often.
Right.
But maybe the day after, if he came out and cast a lot of spells, he might have to refresh, like do the full hour of refreshing his spells.
That makes sense. I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah. So that's what you do learn. You do spend a day here while they're preparing. And eventually they want to know who is entering the dreaming.
I shall sally forth into the great unknown of dreaming.
I am not particularly excited, but I will join, says Zephyrus.
Oh, I'm going for sure.
Oh, yeah, who's going to protect these blokes?
Trojan and Tech. No one will get past those two.
Oh, am I staying or am I going?
Makronam should come along.
I think you should come along.
He comes and he does that running on his little legs, his many legs, and hops up onto Zephyrus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
The crawling claw will stay back. I don't think it can dream. It's an undead.
We likely have room for a 6th.
Bukabek, are you coming?
I am a bit nervous stepping into this in-between world, but yes, I can come.
Surely you aren't afraid to dream bigger, lad.
This is a good group.
Excellent.
Okay. They say a command word and shift the room into the room where the pocket dimension where the Iambulus Sleeping Titan statue is.
All right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Where you can see Pixel is sitting up on the statue, or at least the base of the statue, kind of lounging, and she's sprouted a number of tendrils.
I've got a guess. We'll be having a tendril touching our noggins, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Cool. How are you doing? Are you ready for us?
I'm ready to send you to dreaming.
Excellent. Will you be able to let others here know how we're doing?
Yes.
Excellent.
Our initial scouts into the dreaming have let us know that Ezri has gone very far.
Yes.
Her footsteps can be followed.
How will we find her then? How shall we notice these footsteps?
Okay. The Moon Maiden actually has a thing in her hand. It looks like a. It looks, to be honest, like arts and crafts time with the Rakasta. It's this wooden circle with a bunch of strings going across it. It's like a really shitty web with some stuff hanging in it, like a hodgepodge of things.
Yeah.
Ezri's body is here, so give me a second.
Oh yeah, right.
You do see that it is wrapped up and it seems to be cared for. There might be some of her fur in this dream catcher. Whomever, she passes it to you, since you have a strong bond with your familiar. This device will follow you into the dreaming.
Excellent.
While you may have to wade through many others' dreams, you will be able to spot, if you have a keen eye or not, the path or the tracks of Ezri through the dreaming.
All right. Yes, my senses are, I have a pretty keen eye, although I'm not an amazing tracker. This should be sufficient, though.
I can do some tracking if it comes to that.
True. Together, I think we'll be able to find this path.
While Pixel will not manifest in the dream, you will feel her near. All of you will.
Good.
As she will be connected to your sleeping bodies here. You do notice that some of the under priests are laying out basically like blankets on the ground.
If we're gone for more than a day, will I be able to commune with Pixel in the mornings?
She nods. You will have a direct connection between your holy cortex to her being.
Excellent. Good. This should work well.
There's some heady incense that is now being lit, and there's some chimes that they keep on tolling. The chimes seem to be quick at first, but their frequency of the chiming seems to slow down. It's actually kind of relaxing. You hear the sound of running water, but you don't know where it's coming from.
I'll sit down and relax.
Okay.
Near Pixel, within reach of a tendril.
Keep an eye on me, Icky Maester. Never hurts to lend an extra hand if needed.
Let me make one request of Pixel.
Okay.
In private before we go, if I may turn back time just slightly.
Well, yeah, you could speak in familiar speak. No one should.
Oh, yeah.
Unless they have, like, comprehend languages up, you can speak freely with her without people knowing.
Okay, and we might actually be at the level where we can communicate telepathically. When is that? Regardless, I'm going to ask Pixel to keep an eye on the professor and let me know if she feels anything else tagging along, and what she's able to perceive about it.
Oh, okay. We all know the professor's full of himself.
Yes, maybe not just himself.
Oh.
Full of beans.
Ezri was drawn towards a bright light, not in this dreaming cluster,
Right.
but beyond, the great gulf of dreams where there are no people. Crossing this expanse, if that is where she has gone, will be dangerous.
Yes.
But if she crossed there her path will be obvious.
Excellent. It is said that she has gone to fabled Heshmala. Do you think this might be?
Yes.
I hope so.
If you must cross the expanse, you will be lost in the dream for weeks. There might be a way.
Do you think we could do something like plane shift or shadow walk?
I would not try to breach the shadow walk in the dreaming.
That seems dangerous, doesn't it?
I cannot begin to fathom what nightmare you would end up in.
Fair, fair. It's a great distance, though, much greater than teleportation.
There is a man. His name is Remy.
Oh. Wow. Yeah.
He is thought to have been the only one who has traversed this expanse.
Ah.
Is
he awake in this realm?
No, this man was once a follower of ours who lost himself to the dreaming.
Ah.
But he is still spotted from time to time on the shores of the great Gulf of Dreams, between the two clusters.
Good, good. We'll seek him out. Thank you. This will help a great deal.
There are creatures that stalk the periphery. You know this.
Yes. These demodans?
Like prey that stalks a herd, they look for the ones that are the outliers, the ones that stick out, the ones that can be preyed upon easily and alone.
Ah, yes. Good.
You should stick together in there, as discombobulating as it will be.
Good. We shall. We shall. Good.
Zephyrus didn't participate in the conversation, but at the word or the words of Heshmala, he pays attention.
Good. We shall make a great journey. We shall make an epic journey.
I'm not too sure about this.
Bookerbeck lies down. He's praying to Bomba Dumba Dumba.
Head this way, all right.
Imagine it, Bookerbeck. You'll find a distant shore that few have explored. What opportunities could there be to connect these shores with ours? Trade the likes the world has never seen.
It would be foolish to trade in dream stuff. You can't have it when you wake up.
For the most part, you're right, Bookerbeck. But there are ways. While you are in your local dreams, should you die, you will simply wake up. But on the periphery, and in the expanse and beyond, death is death.
We will be very careful then. Very, very careful.
Oh, that's not good. Fucking like this.
Well, don't die then, right? That's the advice. You'll be fine.
I don't plan on it. Not
I
in
have
this
more
life.
magic as well. I can do a little bit more to help keep us alive.
And isn't don't die generally good advice?
Yes. Although in this case, with our essence separated so far from our bodies, even though it would be bad, it might be especially bad in that it might be very difficult to pull it back, even with the most powerful magic. I don't know that we know enough about what's out there to know like the full consequences. What would it? Could I infer anything from thinking about it from the standpoint of religion and planes? Like,
what's your
getting
question?
lost in the ether? Could we be resurrected if we died out there? Kind of depends on some things, eh?
Yeah, give me knowledge, like a knowledge planes, or yeah, knowledge planes.
Planes is a good one. Let's do planes plus 30. 40.
The closest analogy is that you guys are doing some sort of soul travel through sleep.
Yeah.
So if you died and nothing bad happened to your soul, it wasn't stuck anywhere or put into anything, then yes, reincarnation or raising would work. If your soul is lost, then
yeah, bad news.
The part that worries you is that it's possible for you to get disconnected from your body to die, but your soul to still be technically alive.
Ah.
You're worried about that case where
Sure.
You're not undead in the same way a magic jar could go wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You're like a soul without a body, but you haven't died.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And she seemed to just describe some man who went into the dream and never returned.
Yeah. We could get stuck in there. That's a risk. We could die and have our soul trapped in there, and that's a risk. Or we could die and have to get resurrected, which is expensive. So that's a risk.
Yep. All those with the blue circle are the ones that are lying down. Oh, that doesn't feel good. Pixel has, or the Moon Maiden Tekrakai has hooked up the tendril to Thurgis's ear. You can see it. The tendril unwraps like in a bulb at the end, and this big dream lotus goes right over the ear, and the little tendrils from inside of the flower begin to travel into Thurgis's head. Oh, that's itchy.
All right, Zephyros is also going to lie down. He's just looking for a spot.
Here, you can go next between me and the professor there.
There we go.
Okay, using the JE Emeritus door as sort of a headrest, Zephyros lies down on the ground. For someone who likes flying and not touching the ground, this feels weird. Zephyros.
Well, he came down gracefully, like he's just slowly falling to the ground without hurting himself.
You can hear from down here the crawling claws skittering around the professor. Maybe that's why Pharisee wanted you in between. This little nail clicking along the ground, kind of guarding the professor. At this point in time, Bukerbeck shivers as the tendril is being hooked up. She pauses at Mokranam. Hello. Not sure where this goes. She tries. Do you have ears?
My tingle sploops?
Probably that.
Sure. Something opens up on the side. It's sufficiently weird looking, and the tendrils seem to fit right in.
Oh, tingle spoops.
She shakes her head and goes to Zephyros. She pauses over Pharisee for a moment. She lifts up one of the big flaps of your Fant ears and then takes this tendril that's coming out of Pixel. She kind of touches the bulb. It opens up, and you can see a bunch of these little reaching tendrils inside inside the flower, which then she puts right into your ear. It tickles a little bit, but then you feel it like grab a hold, and you could feel it like a cold snake going down your ear canal and then trying to get to where your brain is.
Fear is just.
We could put them to sleep first, but
she walks over to the professor. It doesn't have to travel as far for a human ear, but you feel the thing latch on. Professor, immediately you have this pain in the middle of your forehead. It feels like somebody's driving a spike right between your eyes. Calm now, calm now. She then casts a spell which makes at least your worry kind of go away. It still hurts.
That's more uncomfortable than I remember.
So a couple of the moon dancers come over, and you notice that they're wiping his nose. The professor also has a bad nosebleed.
No. Is it working? Has something gone wrong?
They're whispering amongst themselves and we're casting. One of them ends up casting a Cure Light Wounds on your nose, and that seems to alleviate some of the pain. It definitely felt like something was burrowing in your head.
I think the crawling claw will climb up on my chest.
You've got something else in there already, don't you? Can't remember all the professor's maladies and curses.
Pixel's like, all of a sudden, Ferris, you feel through your familiar bond.
He's wrong,
is what she's whispering to him.
Yes.
You can see as she's whispering, the flower that isn't quite connected to you, the petals open up, are actually whispering in unison with her own lips, like, he's wrong.
Can you bring him, though? Can you bring all of him?
Yeah.
Ew. I feel hungry all of a sudden. So hungry.
I think he'll want to be there.
Okay. If you're sure about this.
I'm sure about this.
Okay, after Henry with a few spells, they cast Calm Emotions and Cure Light Wounds on him.
That crawling claw will claw up on me and massage my temples, maybe massage some shoulders a little bit, pat me on the head. Yeah.
Just stroke your thinning hair.
Oh, that's nice. Yes. Ooh, yes.
Okay, one of the moon dancer priestesses continues to kind of wipe your forehead with a damp cloth. They approach towards Pharisee. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
They will likely wake up in your dream, given your connection to Pixel.
Good. All right.
Keep in mind that when you're in this mindful state in the dreaming, you can control it somewhat. I believe this is not your first time in the dreaming.
Right.
Be prepared to have many entities in your dream.
All right. Will we have a moment of solace when we arrive? Probably, yes. A little bit?
Are you calm?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I'd like to get a good view.
Prepare yourself, then, she says, and she grabs the tendril. The tendril on Pharisee seems to be the most comfortable and natural of the connection, whether that's because we're going from plant to plant, or because Pixel is the familiar. You're not too certain, but it just ends up coiling around your head and kind of going in a little bit and then coming out a different spot. Like in the crown of your your rooty head, and it didn't really hurt. There was a tingle as you feel a much deeper connection with Pixel at this point in time, You also can hear the murmurs of other people's surface thoughts, and you realize that they might be your companions.
Welcome to the dreaming.
Do not resist. The priestesses and I will cast sleep spells upon you.
So hungry. Oh, pain.
Go to sleep. Sleep well, and we'll wake up in the dreaming. You know the dreaming.
Dreaming.
We will be its masters.
Zephyrus is nervous, but he closes his eyes.
Mm-hmm. To sleep, perchance to dream.
I suspect Mokranum was like the first one in, because this is like the place where he loves being.
Oh, it feels good on the strudel bots. Ooh. I don't think we're in station anymore.
This thing is loading. Give me a second. All right.
I forgot Henry's token. Hell yeah! Oh my god! Look at that
Pharisee,
beautiful boy.
what is your first dream about?
We're high in the branches of an enormous world-like tree, looking out across the plains of the dreams. The branches seem to reach out forever. The roots dig through the earth. The tree is everywhere.
Okay. You know what? I found some really good I'm gonna grab this one. Save image. World.
Guys, I spilled so much water on my shirt a second ago.
It's just
It's just the way it goes. It's just really getting into the Henry character, I guess.
there you go.
Slovenly old man.
All right.
I think the thing that Pixel was running into, burrowing into his head, is the mother of smothering arms implant. If I was to guess. But who knows?
Sorry, what was it?
I think it's probably the mother of smothering arms implant. Would be my guess, which I think was from the last dream. Where was it? I was like transported. It was maybe in the library in the Chalmers Mansion. I might have been there. Was it the dream? It was like he was on a shore, some primordial shore.
It was the tentacle monster that was guarding Iambulus's
Oh
temple.
yeah. Yeah, that's a tough one. Yeah, cool.
Okay, Pharisee, here is the World Tree Dream. It's sufficiently Fey-like. It's reaching into the sky. There's all sorts of beautiful places. It's reminiscent of Garden, the pearl that you came from long ago.
Yeah.
The pearl that is no longer friend to life. Who is the first to arrive? Let's see. You notice a man standing tall in a bunch of waterfalls, looking confused. He's a bearded man in a flowing robe with all sorts of jewelry. He's looking at himself.
Welcome to the dream.
He's beautiful. Oh my god.
Yeah, it just so works.
Floating
so
down are
beautiful.
these three masks.
What?
It's me. Pharisee.
Pharisee?
Welcome. It is my dream that we are in.
I look different.
Everyone looks different in the dream. They look like some aspect of themselves. Perhaps this is familiar to you in a way you're not consciously aware of.
He wanders up to a pool and he's looking at his own reflection in Pharisee's dream in some water.
I know this man. How do I know him?
How indeed. You were not always you, were you?
Oh.
Is this who you once were?
Perhaps this is my previous incarnation.
Good time to get in touch with your past lives, then.
This is fabulous. Wait a minute. Hey, my old pouch.
He reaches inside.
It's got money in it.
And he just, you get this tug, like Pharisee, you could control your dream, but he's somehow manifesting just fist loads of money, like gold coins and things. He just keeps on pulling it out. I'm rich. He's making piles of it.
It still keeps on coming out.
And he pours it upside down, and it's just constant stream of gold coins on the ground.
Let's not flood the whole place.
No. Let's pick these up, shall we?
And then he seems to have fun picking up the coins, and you, because it's your dream, you kind of end up just conjuring more coins for him to pick up and keep him busy.
Get comfortable with your form. Get comfortable with what your thoughts can make real.
Okay, he sits down. Apparently, Bukerbeck's dreams are very boring. He ends up picking. At least it's gold and not paper money.
Hey, in this realm, none of that paper money.
Hey, how did that one get there? They got all over the place.
He's running around picking up coins.
Oh, delightful.
Wonderful.
Just this scintillating sound as the wind goes through the world tree, as you would picture it as a fae would.
I'll start whistling just a little bit.
Okay. There's a whistle.
Not a bard song, but just some whistling.
There's a beautiful whistling in the breeze. For a brief moment, Bukerbeck does look up at it and listens to it as somebody else is arriving.
I'll make it a song that I often play when we're doing a bard song, so that folks can recognize.
Okay. Who joins the dreaming next?
Zephyros will probably wake up. He's nervous.
Descending first by casting a massive shadow over this place is the huge form of Zephyros the Mighty.
Well, the first thing Zephyros is doing is he's trying to figure out, is he flying? Is he falling? Will he touch the ground?
Okay. For a brief moment, you thought you were falling, but you managed to catch yourself before touching the ground.
It's that moment that just gets your heart rate going, and
the trees the tree branches parted to let you fall down. It's almost like the tree moved out of the way. For a brief moment, Zephyros disappeared, and one of the priestesses, you remember, you opened your eyes before you hit the ground, and the priest actually wiped something across your eyebrow in the waking world, and then you fell asleep again and reappeared here.
So as Zephyros comes to sort of a stop, he just sort of, I don't want to say growls or mumbles, but it's that, that deep, not relief. He's kind of just sort of, I didn't touch the ground. I didn't fall. That didn't happen. I'm okay. And then he hears the song, and he doesn't recognize it, but he recognizes it as something that Pharisee would do.
Yeah, and you see 3 floating masks, one hex, one happy, and then Dreamtime Pharisee bobbing in the middle of them. She turns to face you. It's almost like she knew you were coming, And then you can see this man sitting cross-legged in this grassy field, picking up coins and admiring them and putting them away into a pouch. He's counting, but he's losing track of counting because numbers are hard in the dream. Zephyros has around him like little formulas, little things that he's constantly working on and thinking on, but they're kind of fuzzy and they come and go very quickly. You now remember how frustrating this place is.
Yes, I remember, and I'm sure one of those things that he's working on just looks like a tusk or something, like, it looks, but you can't figure it out. You can't quite see it.
Oh, this place is amazing.
There's just this thing that burrows out of the ground and is looking around, and then there's another one that's over another area, another one that's looking over the area.
Oh, is this for keeping or for eating?
All the voices say. As the mouths of Mockernam have entered your dream.
It's easy things.
No, these are my coins.
You can hear Bukerbeck's voice coming out of this large human's, like he's 6 foot, kind of robust human form. And he ends up chasing around the mouths of Mockernam. It's kind of like a hungry hippo meets like gopher battle kind of thing.
You know that Mockernam can keep those for you, right?
He can. He can also keep ideas here. He can keep a spell for you if you like.
Yes.
You could cast it whenever you need.
Oh, we can store 3 spells for keeping.
Very nice.
I'm not sure.
Says Bukerbeck. He's thinking, and then he goes around chasing coins again. One of the Mockernam mouths just disappears into the ground and comes out right beside where Zephyros is floating.
Oh, I don't need to ride on you here.
No, you don't.
Whose tree?
I might need to ride on you here.
Whose tree is this?
I think it is Pharaoh's. Do you hear that song?
Oh, yeah, she's over there. Do you want me to keep this or eat it? I mean the whole dream, I think.
Oh, I don't know that we want to eat the entire dream. I think we want to get ready. Get ready here, and then travel off into the unknown. From here, we may be able to see a great distance. I hope.
Oh, fuck! Rolling down the tree and kind of tumbling down to the ground. Oi! Is Thurgus.
I hate this place.
Dreamtime.
I fucking really do.
Dreamtime mouth of Mockernam 3 just went into the tree. Zephyros lifted up and he just went rolling right down into the ground. He's spitting stuff out.
I'll take a fruit I'll pluck a fruit out of somewhere with my mind, I think, because I don't really have limbs.
Yep.
And toss it over to Thurgus and say, yes, throw this, smash this, Thurgus, see how it makes you feel.
Where the hell did this fruit come from?
Take your tiny body and destroy it.
He
Thurgus is gonna keep his strength stat.
Yep.
In Dreamtime.
Yeah, he just squishes.
He is wildly powerful still.
he just squishes the hell out of the banana, but then because it is a trickster's dream, he ends up slipping on the banana. He falls back down to the ground. He sits there grumpily, and this little storm cloud appears above his head and begins raining on his head.
But you can feel that you're strong this time, can't you?
You got me. Good one. The rain, of course, is red. little cartoons, rain cloud of blood.
Nice.
Of course.
Hey, it's cherry flavor. That's not blood. Quit. Yeah, you don't see... actually, Christopher is an imaginary familiar. So Christopher is here.
He's just the same.
He's just the same. Yep.
Yeah.
Wow, you sure look stupid here.
He might be bigger, but...
Welcome. We rarely see you so well.
The cherry-flavored rain that isn't blood actually ends up forming Christopher.
Delightful.
Giving you the thought that he might taste good.
Oh, no.
Look at him.
He's a giant gummy bear.
Delicious. Who are we missing?
I think just the professor, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, I had Dreamtime Darien, Dreamtime Crojan, and Dreamtime Tech, but you guys... Okay, Pharisee, you didn't realize it at first because you positioned yourself further from the professor, or perhaps the professor was somewhat distracted.
Yeah.
But around the backside of the tree, in the shadow of the tree, you see Henry talking to Henry as a young scholar talking to another young boy.
I'm much better than you at numbers. I really am. Surely
Professor Chalmers.
Yes, but I'm the one that got 100% on my test.
That's because you cheated. I know it. You always
didn't.
do.
You're the one who was trying to look at my answers.
I just wanted to make sure you weren't getting the ones I was.
Okay. The professor turns around and sees Pharisee. At first, Pharisee, you saw that your shadow looked like that of like an angry schoolmaster, like with a rod in their hand, and the young boy disappeared quickly. One of the young boys leaving behind young scholar Henry.
Hello there.
Welcome.
Oh, thank you.
It's time for a milk, I think.
Oh, do we have a biscuit?
If you can conjure one up, you can have one.
Pharisee, give me a perception check.
Oh, yes. Excellent. Let's see here. Perception is very good. Perception. Yeah, okay. Let's see here. Ha! 34.
Okay.
Perception's very good, but my roll is not.
Yeah. You notice that in the shadow where Professor appeared, this side of the world tree, for some reason, is very slimy. There's some, like, critters and crawlers. Kind of like you took a rock and looked underneath it. There's this big swath of the side of the tree that is covered with little creepy crawlies and things that you just sort of shiver.
I'll look at the glass of milk and look at my hand and close my eyes and squinch them up really tight and try and conjure a biscuit, but I think it'll come out all moldy and decrepit.
Yeah, it has little white worms in it that seem to have gotten to it before you did.
I'll stare at it, like, mesmerized and intently, and then, like, snap out of it and, never was so good at baking. Is it ready for another adventure?
Interesting. Yes, Henry, it's time for an adventure. Your brother was here for a moment.
Oh.
But he's gone. And you remain.
Yeah, he's a big jerk anyway. You wouldn't want to hang out with him. He always was a tattletale and a good-for-nothing mama's boy and a big fat jerk.
What is his name? I can't recall.
It's best to forget him, but if we really want to talk about I think it's Benjamin, relatives.
I think it is. That was what was on.
Benjamin.
Yeah, but what was this? Did he have a full name?
All right. Well, this is a good place for us to prepare for our journeys. And the tree is tall. Perhaps we can see beyond this dream. Perhaps we can find the way out of it and into the broader dreaming.
Thordis, I didn't recognize you.
Oh, yeah, I appear like this pathetic thing here for some reason.
And that must be Mokronom. And I'd recognize a giant Zephyros anywhere.
Of course. I am a Tusker. I will always be recognizable.
Does that make you... Professor? Why is he a little boy?
Are you Bookerbeck?
Yes, I think I am.
Wow, look at these clothes. So handsome. Whoa. You must think highly of yourself, Bookerbeck.
Yes, I think I did think highly of myself.
Not frog-like at all. You don't even smell anymore.
Wait, I smelled?
Not much.
I think this used to be me.
And this used to be me. And still is, I guess, a little bit somewhere in there, maybe. Top of the tree, you said.
That's my thought. Let's see where it goes.
Race it to the top, and the professor will squirt down, like scrunch down, like superhero jump kind of landing, and then boom, just
okay,
jump straight up.
He seems to have mastery enough that he can move and fly. And
can we fly here?
It's your dream. It's my dream, but it's your dream too.
Bookerbeck looks like he's being like lifted away. He takes some time to get control over it.
Oh, yeah, probably should get going. Where the fuck is this place anyways?
As high as we can go. Let's see how far we can see.
Oh, we're not going to walk on the land here.
You can begin walking on the land, but I think we should stick together. If you like, you can wait at the bottom of the tree here, and we'll go take a peek and tell you which direction we need to go.
Oh,
and let's just reiterate. We received a warning before we came in to stay together.
Yes. Particularly at the edges. This is
Bear in mind, this is the dream realm. We don't necessarily know where the edges are.
It would not be bad to stick together. But your choice, Douglas. I'll start rising.
Okay.
Hey, you guys are so slow down there.
I want to keep the professor in sight.
Zephyros does the same. He rises with as well. And I'm sure Mokranum will go wherever Zephyros is going. Although in this place, Mokranum is more of a leader than a follower.
All right, Thurgus reaches out and ends up grabbing a hold of the edges of Zephyrus' robes and kind of goes for a ride. Bookerbeck eventually gets the hang of flying on his own. And the mouths of Mokranum, they tend to spend a lot of time hanging on to Zephyrus as well. They're all grabbing at the ends of your robes. You're basically dragging three people along. You guys end up going really high up into the tree, so high, it's impossibly high. The tree is almost like growing behind you, like it's trying to race. But eventually you crack through a glass ceiling and you end up in somebody's basement. and there's a guy there that looks happy and nervous who's facing the challenge of having the wrong tool for the job and can't find the tool. And then you end up running up the stairs out of that basement, and then there's a person standing in a long road where there's like dead leaves everywhere, and there's some sort of spirit that is pointing at him. He ends up going, "Mother," and that dream ends, and then you're hung upside down in like a jungle gym, maybe like a training jungle gym, but it's oversized. It's it looks like a playground meets a military training, and somebody's really nervous about crossing this walkway and is going to fall. That dream ends when that person falls. You are in a temple somewhere where you're being anointed in holy oil, and it's some sort of processing about how the holy oil tasted interesting, and now this person wants to steal the holy oil to have a drink. There's a dream where someone's in an outhouse, and the outhouse disappears, and they're all alone in the wilderness taking a crap, and they really got to take a crap, but they're worried about being exposed. Then there's this really complicated dream where you're at a party, and there's like a mask ball, and you're at a party, and you're kind of getting bumped into. You don't know who everyone is. Everyone's kind of becoming much more garish and disturbing as the group of you are trying to navigate through. This one, I'm actually going to have you guys roll a survival check to keep together and not get lost.
That seems fair.
You can aid, yep. Or describe to me how you're staying together. There's one group that has already grabbed a hold of Zephyros.
The professor, since he's a little kid, is gonna be like just ducking under legs and just kind of like probably walking underneath Zephyros as much as possible, because I'm pretty sure Zephyros is gonna part this crowd a good amount. So he might do that. He might occasionally dart out and like pull somebody's pants down, or like pinch somebody's butt.
Give me a Dreamtime stealth or acrobatics check.
Yep, stealth's pretty good. Acrobatics is not as good. Wow, stealth. How is stealth so good? 31.
Nice. So you managed to navigate across the ballroom. Bukrabek ends up just smiling and being polite to people and excusing himself to try to get through.
He's so dashing and handsome.
I'm going to rise up above it all and see if I can have Happy and Hex reach out to the outliers.
Okay.
Maybe slap a mask on Henry.
Bukrabek manages to politely excuse himself and kind of pardon me his way through the ballroom. Pharisee is flying above. Give me a Dreamtime fly check as you're trying to avoid like loud people's thoughts and flying hors d'oeuvres and all sorts of like busyness that's happening above everyone's heads.
Yep.
Okay. You're a little bit busy to help others as you're trying to navigate through an unexpected amount of clutter above everyone's heads.
Interesting.
Zephyros, how are you getting through this ballroom? It's absolutely packed full of people.
So Zephyros doesn't have a great wisdom in Dreamtime, but he is a flyer. He is a don't want to be near the ground, so he is going to try and also just fly up and get out of the noise.
Okay.
So do you need a fly check?
A fly check's fine.
24.
And you guys are using, instead of Dex, you guys are using your wisdom, right?
So yeah, I'm using wisdom, but I have fly as a skill.
Okay, nice. You actually see Zephyros
Actually, I kept my dex too.
flew really high up into the rafters and ends up kind of ducking around the rafters to get to the other side. And he's got a bunch of people in tow, leaving Pharisee in this fascinating place. You're like getting lost in other people's thoughts. It's like as you're bumping into people, you can hear them thinking, although you begin to suspect that it's only one person's dream.
I think I might start split hexing sleep on the various entities in here to sort of plow my way through.
Okay.
If I'm getting distracted.
Pharisee decides to use a supernatural ability to put the guy or lady who's having this dream to sleep in their dream. Okay, what's the DC of the save?
DC is 25.
They fail. You notice that everyone on the ballroom just falls down asleep.
That's better.
Just kind of like hands and feet all over the place. Just everyone's asleep. There was one person, what looks like this old man sitting in a chair watching the ball, and you notice that he's nodded off as well, and you guys are able to exit this dream. You seem to exit dreams and end up in half a dozen other dreams. They kind of come and go. Where are you trying to go, Pharisee?
I want to be able to see the edge of the dreaming. Perhaps this is the time to break out the dream catcher and see if we can find any traces as we're traveling through here.
Okay. You break out the dream catcher. What are you doing with it?
I'm using it as kind of a lens.
All right.
To look around like a magnifying glass almost.
Give me a perception check.
Can I aid? Oh, what's that thing?
Sure.
What are we looking for?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I think it's we'll know when we see it.
Okay.
Like footsteps. The big 50.
All right.
You end up going through what you think are like on the periphery of people's dreams, almost like you were looking through it. You feel like things are thinning out a little bit. Like you're not automatically jamming into someone else's dream. You're kind of on the edges of people's dreams. No one who's dreaming seems to notice that you're there because you're not doing too much to do it, to like get their attention. But you're definitely conscious, whereas dreamers might not be. There's all sorts of non-well-formed haze and jumbles of thoughts and an interesting place that Pharisee or any of the intellectuals think they could explore for a millennia before seeing the same thing twice. For those who are not intellectuals, this is horrible in that it's endless and not predictable.
Are we there yet? Oh.
With your 50 to your spot, you do see in one of the dreams these little glowing footprints, like a cat's footprints in snow.
Good news, Thurgus. I found the track.
By the time you got to that dream, the dreamer must have woke up or the dream changed to something else. And you guys spend a little bit of time looking around again, and then you catch the trail again. This time, the footprints seem to be upon clouds. Like you had to look up in the dream to see that she wandered through this area. And eventually you begin to follow.
Everyone keep count of yourselves.
It appears that her footsteps are only seen in other people's dreams. And you find yourself sort of waiting for the next dream to happen, to see if you could see more footsteps. You guys have climbed to a vantage point where you seem to have to keep your own thoughts at bay while you're sleeping to keep from a full dream forming around you, in order to see these little clusters of bubbles, like soap bubbles that are being created and kind of popping, that are all behind you. and you think you're reaching the edge of maybe Bostera's, like, people that are dreaming.
Let us gather here for a moment and cast some protections.
Okay.
Professor, can you give us a telepathic bond?
Oh, of course. I can do whatever I want. It's a dream, after all.
Of course you can. Look at you. So precocious.
All those dreams look really tasty.